This is your daily market review for Monday, January 13th, 2025. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, is your daily market review for Monday, January 13th, 2025. Hopefully you're doing great. Interesting day. Market opened down, rallying back into the close. I'm starting a few minutes earlier. I guess we'll see where the close is exactly in 3 minutes. But not surprising. We got PPI, CPI data. Thought the market would either hold in a range or chop today. Either way, did not really see a ton of downside going into the rest of the day, especially with PPI, CPI. We know OPEX, right? We know the start of earnings on Wednesday with banks. Are you surprised that people jumped in and bought what seems like a short-term oversold condition potentially? No, you shouldn't at all. You know, what's interesting is with leading, though, is it's not tech. And so this is the thing. Again, if you're following this channel, you should be expecting the expected here. We talk about this kind of stuff. We do a pretty good job of projecting what is going to happen and why and who will lead. And so if you're paying attention, you're kind of expecting this, right? Tech lag, commodities, certain names, certain industrials, certain, material names leading. And if you're on top of it, you're on top of it. And kudos to you. So we're going to talk about all the trades, all things, what to expect. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. Again, I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you ever would like to chat, use the Calendly link. It's in the descriptions on whatever platform you're watching this on. Follow, like, hit the follow, subscribe on Twitter and on YouTube. Again, posting a ton of trades, ideas, and thoughts. Again, the levels matter. Again, like, subscribe, notification, hit the thanks button if you'd like. You can donate $1. I'm just kidding. Check out this video. Again, I have so many videos on different things, again, that people don't understand about the markets. Options expiration. Again, if you're not getting educated, what are you doing? Again, follow on the website as well. We got the recommended reading, continuous updates, Twitter. Everything's on the website. Also adding some of the blogs, talking about real estate stuff today. Again, a lot of people don't recognize that, hey, if you're loving all this stuff and you need help with real estate anywhere in the country, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, got tons of stuff here posting, and you can see my ugly mug, which again, I don't think I'm ugly, but I'm not a superstar. My face is meant for the video camera. No, it's more like the microphone. I think is better. We know going to the Fed meeting next, was it 2 weeks from now? Nothing. 29th. Nothing's happening. Bitcoin. Sorry to just rattle through it. It's quick. Bitcoin, my last I saw was holding around 91,000. It seems to, again, just like the market, you go from range highs down to some range lows, you bounce. Look at that trap, man. We'll see how it ultimately holds up. Again, if you've been following the channel, you know we expect this. Big up moves lead to chop and consolidation. Is it this blowout here to go higher? Which again, you will see if it goes higher. This is why I tell people, if you're trading Bitcoin, right? You can always trade the lows with a stop, and if it breaks out, it should go higher, especially the longer we consolidate. So keep that in mind. So the next, you really need to get over the 105, 108, whatever range. Apologize, I don't know the exact numbers, but somewhere in those ranges to really confirm a breakout. At worst, it could just chop around, and this is where you can get stuck. When I say stuck, you just get stuck waiting. Oh boy, oil. Feds can't, again, we've talked about this stuff coming off the lows. I'd like it long term, near term. This one's tough. Be careful here. Sorry, I ate lunch at spicy chicken. Oh, got a piece of it. You ever get a piece of pepper in your throat? Anyway, again, near term support, resistance, this zone. We'll see if it goes higher. The Feds are just fudged. Natural gas seems to be holding up pretty well. Again, not really a ton to say about those names. Again, I talked about today taking profits in some of the oil and gas names. You don't have to, but I would highly recommend it because again, they've had nice runs. You get a little rotation, a little options expiration action. Again, long term, again, I think you'll be fine, but near term, risk reward's not in your favor. Bonds, we talked about the 85 level after the 87 level broke. Said you got to hold around here. We didn't. You can't. Again, you had a high volume, which again, typically can be a bottom. You did get a bounce and some chop following, but then boom, new lows. Watch the 85s. Again, I think you can, again, it's one of those things where you can take a stab and put $1 stop. And if you're wrong, cool. If you're right, wrong, you're gone, right, you're in. It's that simple. Dollar's been on fire. We've talked about this. Dollar, fire. right? After XDiv, it still continues to crank. I mean, something's wrong in the world. I'm sorry. People are like, oh, everything's fine. I'm like, oh, no, they're not. Dollar ain't acting well. SPY, we talked about his 100-day breaking. Said this morning, watching the 575 level should hold. You know, you filled some gaps. Not surprised you got a bounce. Light volume. Again, OPEX. He'll ask, well, where would the next support resistance would be? I mean, it could be the confluence of all this stuff at some point, maybe 587. 8-day and 10-day. I mean, that's where I'd be looking at if you expect a bigger bounce. I mean, you always could see up to here, right? Like I could say 593 being the high of that potentially, in my opinion. But again, you can always trap and go slightly higher. But I think again the top is in. QQQ, same thing. Said once we broke the 50 days, probably gonna head lower. Get a couple days down. Not surprised. IWM, this thing's at the 200-day, due to bounce, right? Talked about how this has been lagging. Chop, new lows, 200-day. Keep an eye on it. Absolutely keep an eye on it. DIA, chopping, holding the range. I mean, again, this is one of those things where we talked about you can't go down in a straight line, and you don't usually go up in a straight line. So you get big downs, and now you slowly chop your way lower. Whenever you hit support, you seem to bounce. Not surprising, right? Like, that's what happens. And this is where, again, I apologize, I didn't do the VIX. Look at the VIX, right? Like we said, it needs to close over the mid-19s. Where do we close? Mid-19s. I mean, again, it's in my opinion, you're in this place where it's just money rotation, near term, and chop for OPEX. And again, you have PPI and CPI data. Again, I mean, bears covering because of the CPI data, not surprised, right? We don't know. Again, this is the thing, right? People don't recognize uncertainty creates movement in the market, right? It gets people to move before, right? Anticipate. Gold, I mean, this is where, here you go, right? Look at gold, right? I love gold long term. I've said this on my record. Near term, this is where it gets real freaking hard. It breaks the downtrend. It did it previously. I said that in yesterday on the weekend recap. You broke a downtrend, you broke out, and you give it back. We did it again. Why? Again, watching silver. I'm like, these are not leading, right? Look at silver back under the 200-day. It's not anywhere looks as good as gold. Gold miners, right? Should be like flying. Look at them. Lower lows and lower highs. Someone thinks gold's going lower, clearly. Like there's a trend. Now, again, I could be wrong on this, but probability base says if this isn't the bottom, then someone's anticipating gold to go lower. And why are they not buying it more aggressively off the bottom? Like there's some inconsistencies in the market. Just be careful. AEM, again, we like these names. Like AG on pullbacks. I mean, I guess these are pulling back. But lower ranges, Newmont. I mean, how is this thing in the 30s? I don't get it. Pass. Chopping around. Again, I like this one in the teens. Again, we like them all long term. Be careful. Again, I wouldn't chase them. I'd let them come to you. Taiwan Semi. Here we go, right? Blow off topper. Now below the 20-day. Yikes. Again, they have earnings on Wednesday. Please be careful. Micron, we've talked about every pop is faded. Fade, right? You seem to be holding in some of these ranges, but these stocks look ugly. AMD, talked about this one going back towards the lows. Gets the gap down, new lows. I mean, you would think there'd be more volume. If people really were like, hey, this is a freaking discount. I got to buy the shiznit out of it. No, they're not. At least near term. Now, again, doesn't mean it can't rally around, right? Like you get this funk. Just, it's a downtrend. That's what it is, in my opinion. NVIDIA, same kind of thing. You short the highs. Talked about getting in the 130. Said the 100-day today. Wouldn't be surprised if we caught a bid. We caught some bids. Again, you go from 154 down to 130. People are going to be there to buy. It just is the nature of the beast. And now near term, again, this is why we draw the levels. Not surprised if it bounced. If you did, you act on it. Congrats. SMCI. Again, I don't trust this name. Again, talked about this honestly. Intellectual property said you could buy this down here. I mean, you're at support if you really wanted to. I mean, I don't trust the stock at all. But if you wanted to, I mean, the level makes sense. I think Intel is crap. I mean, I don't think anyone will want to buy them either until they get really, really cheap. SMH, same kind of thing, 200-day. You go from range highs, go down to range lows. When it breaks, just remember the volume should expand. If you'll go, what? Wait, hold on. Why? Why should the volume expand? Well, look, you have a huge chop zone. You have a huge VAP zone here. Bunch of people have been buying and selling in this area. When it breaks, those buyers are giving up. And when it breaks, those sellers will probably be pounding the short. So keep an eye on it. Again, without the volume exploding, it kind of seems like it could be in the chop zone. Adobe, things that you don't see if the market is strong, right? You don't see Adobe getting smoked. Apple, we talked about the 230s. You're welcome. Came way quicker than I thought. We talked about this bounce here is just nothing. and then it held the 100-day. Again, congrats. If you're trading around your positions, fuck yeah. If you're shorting, you're long, whatever you're doing, just managing it. It's a trader's market. I've tried to explain this to people. Some sectors will be better. Some sectors will be worse. Amazon, we talked about 1.618, chopping around. Meta, again, if you shorted this thing around 630, you're feeling pretty damn good. Now, again, we got a 2-day range here. This morning was a nice open test and gave it up. That's what we want to see, baby. CRM, chopping around, post-gap, up after earnings, just continues to make lower lows. Guggenheim, we talked about this one, right? We talk about chop, but they have the new chip, right? They got the new Quantum 2 chips. High and tight's fine. Give it up, you got problems. Microsoft, this one's a big choppy, sloppy range. I don't think much there. NDAQ, again, we've talked about this being the best short, one of the better shorts next to NVIDIA. Why? Because I think the Nasdaq exchange will not have the volumes it had in the last couple of years, especially when people stop trading tech stocks because they have no movement. You'll see the repeating patterns. It rotates. And so the next wave, we talked about it. Who wins the tech war? Not tech. It's the inputs. Again, I can go into that another time if needed. MicroStrategy. Again, I think this one is going down to the 240s at some point, but near term, it can do this. I mean, I just think you got to be careful with those names. Netflix and chill or spill. Seems to be starting to spill, right? Things that you see when the market starts looking weaker. Roblox holding up pretty well, but 20 days the key. Keep an eye on it. I see 20-day in red. Pan W. Again, a lot of people like myself like cybersecurity names long term. I want to see what? Just more weakness. Just a lot more weakness. Again, because again, if the VIX spikes, you should expect that. Tesla, this one's a solid chopper for a while, in my opinion. You can trade around the position. You've got clear holding here. But let's see what happens here. We talk about these straight line moves. You have to take profits. You have to raise your stops. But then you can add dips. If you just always hold and you never take any profits, you can't take advantage of the discounts. Now, at this point, it's going to probably be in a big choppy range. You go from 150 or whatever. What was this at? What was this at earlier last year? 137. It goes from 137 to 500 almost, and you're just not going to take profit. It's like, what the fuck? No one listens, but that's fine. Insight, talked about this, and I like this one getting bought out. Right, it looks pretty good at some point, but I'd like to see it on discounts prices. Palantir, again, you're speaking of just never taking profit, right? Straight line move. Now you're going to be in the chop cycle. Maybe you do get smoked back some. I mean, you get 84. This thing goes from 21 to 84 in months. Now it looks like the top is in. We talked about the head and shoulders top once it broke the 20-day. Now you're breaking the 50-day. Near term, it's probably due to bounce, but this is the thing. Like, you got to take your profits. You could be trading around it. I hate to be redundant. McDonald's, we talked about. This one couldn't get over this 300 area. Back to the 200-day. Just, again, support equals resistance. Keep it simple. DKNG said watching for the convergence of all these moving averages to short. Looks pretty damn good. Talked about taking profit down here. Here you go. Said someone hit me up when there's a 40 handle. You got 39.95. It's some Price is Right shit. Airbnb. Again, I'm just watching this one. It looks like it's taking out the range lows, but not really seeing the volume. Costco. Talked about 1,000 when they're advertised. Like, everyone's talking like, Costco, 1,000. I'm like, that's got to be a top. If I had to guess, after a big move, look to the left. Said the 100-day due to bounce. You got it. Now what? Probably, again, this is what happens. You go into chop. I mean, again, read volume price analysis. She talks about the reoccurring formations. You're like, what are you talking about? It's like, dude, the books are posted on my website, posted on the Discord room. I'm telling you, Anna Cooling, volume price analysis, amazing book. Starbucks, chop around. Talk about the repeating formations. Again, there's nothing new in the market. If you're new to trading and you don't understand that, there's nothing new. Everything's a repeating pattern of some sort. Because all the thing is that based off of human psychology. People have been stupid for tens of thousands of years, if not longer. So, again, we may have been evolving, but we're still stupid when it comes to risk and risk management and gambling. FedEx, again, we like this short. Not surprised it retested the lows. Could it get bounced back to the 285? OPEX could be. Caterpillar, look at this. Breaks the 200-day. Gives it back. Comes right back in. OPEX. I don't know. That one's tough. There's a lot of puts coming on that. Not surprised if they try to bounce it. Look at Deere, right? Some of these names. Oversold. Boom. Look at those. I mean, this is the future. Again, shh. The future is, this is commodities learning how to take on the tech kind of action. Again, it's repeating patterns. Again, if this was your typical Deere, This thing ain't popping back 4 or 5% in a day. Telling you, we will be seeing these type of moves in material names in time. Nucor, same kind of thing. Chopping the bottom, 4% move. X, 6% move. You see what I'm saying? Tech ain't catching it. Now, again, I like these all lower when they bottom, like bottom in my opinion. But, I mean, these, like VALE, like these ranges, these spots make sense long term. But, again, I just don't want to get stuck holding them if they don't go anywhere. Like, I'd rather short the overbloated tech right now versus buying commodities. Because if the commodities are 5-6 year cycle, you'll go early. We're very early. Arrow, again, like junior copper. CCJ, check this out, right? Just continues to pull back. Said, be careful. CF, call options were popping up. Let me look at this. Ag name. Again, when you zoom out, you can see that big chop zone. People don't remember these years. This stock, again, $3 up to, I mean, again, 10x. What's 10x from a bottom here in the, 95, 100 level? 1,000, exactly. This could be the start of big fucking moves. Now, again, I'm not going to chase it. Let it play out. But again, we like Mosaic. Nice bounce, right? We like NTR, right? You want to see some 10x, 20x moves. These are the stocks in time. Tech, not tech, it's materials. I'm telling you. AA Aeron. Again, we like aluminum. Let it play back. Pull back. XLF. Now, be careful now. We got bank earnings this week, right? You look where you bounce, right? You back testing on trend line 100-day. Not surprised. You get a little bounce going into JP Morgan. Again, my short is from the 244, 245 with puts. Just keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, I'm going to buy calls as a hedge. Just keep an eye on it. Morgan Stanley earnings. Again, JP Morgan Wednesday before the close. Morgan Stanley Thursday before the open. Wednesday before the open on JP Morgan. Morgan Stanley, again, all these names took a bath yesterday. Again, you should have probably been taking some profits, meaning Friday, chopping around. Some names acting better than others, right? Goldman Sachs, chopping around. Carry. We talked about this one breaking the 100-day. Okay. Just keep an eye on this stuff. Don't overthink it. XBI, again, a growth name, right? Should be flying. No, new lows. Jets. Again, this one, I'm amazed. I mean, I said it on Friday, like that probably was the top. 20-day now, again, JSOL, some of you guys are like really hammering on that thing. I mean, it makes sense to me there that it's time. XHB, again, we talked about the housing index just getting blasted. It's down 20% off the highs. I mean, you're on correction momentum. Be careful. Just be careful out there, man. Again, trading around certain names, managing your positions. Solars, we talked about death, done. But it's going to bounce on the way down, right? Like it stair steps, right? You get some pop, you short the pop, then it drops. ENPH, same kind of thing. But here's the thing, right? Especially for solar. I mean, again, these names, they are in positions where they could bounce if oil continues to rip. That's all. Just keep it simple, stupid. HYG, watching, right? 200-day makes sense to me. Keep an eye on it, right? Oil, talked about oil earlier, saying like keep an eye on it. Yesterday's candle, thought was the top. Okay, maybe not. UNG, again, I hate this product. Absolutely fucking hate this product. It's dog shit. But the play is a short KLD, but if you had to short it at 80, now where you're at, right? Talking about taking profits down here. You're welcome. I mean, you're absolutely welcome. Some of these folks crush these trades. I love it. XOP, again, the more it's up, the more I want to start taking profits. Because again, it's not that it can't go on a run like this, but what if it's just this? What if it's just this? What if it's just this, right? Right, like the seasonality. Go roll back into typical Decembers, right? January. All right, be careful. Again, at long term, love the names, but if you're trading it, then trade it. CVE, again, I like this name down here, but it's just not going anywhere. Look at the gas names. Finally got a nice, I mean, not finally, but a decent pump today, but I wonder if this is the blow off. Right, like this is the blow off. Look to the left. ExxonMobil, nice bounce, right? 110. Got to get over it. Seems to not. MPC, we talked about like the gasoline names, right? Chopping around, 50-day, watching. BP, talked about probably time to watch it consolidate, take profits near term. I mean, that's a nice run, 28.32 for this name. Again, chopping around, Occidental. 100-day, did we take it out? I think we did. Again, I mean, I don't think Buffett's going to lose on this. We talked about how these are big consolidation zones. Talked about maybe this could be the bull trap or bear trap down here. Again, I'd like to see like some sort of head and shoulders bottom when the market does what it typically does at bottoms. You're gonna, or tops, it's gonna blow out at some point. EQT, we talked about the 50s being the upside range near term. Congrats, Flex LNG, because again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters in time. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to help. Again, I appreciate all the love, support, comments, likes, subscriptions, just whatever. I mean, the channel grows. Help the algorithm pick up people. So again, I do this for you guys, right? I don't need to sit here and post all this stuff. I actually enjoy the interaction. I enjoy giving back. I enjoy meeting and talking with you guys. Again, don't hesitate to reach out. Like, I truly enjoy the interactions we have together. Because again, I'm learning, you're learning. And again, you don't recognize the growth until you've done the work. And as a teacher, coach, I love it. I just love seeing it. So if you have any questions, again, real estate stuff, holler at your boy. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you guys and gals shortly or in the Discord room. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.